So the news, you'll feel the love today, I have to say. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about earnings. Yes, earnings, guys. They matter. They matter for a lot of reasons. Companies gauge earnings. They look at the health of a game. They look at how much a game is making for the company, and they decide how much resources are we going to allocate to this game. So what do we want to see out of these earnings? We want to see World of Warcraft doing well. We want to see it bringing money back into the company, because the more it brings in, hopefully, that means the more they'll push out in terms of content. So let's check these things out. These are the fourth quarter 2020 or 2022 earnings. Usually Blizzard goes live for this. Blizzard Activision, that is. Or Activision Blizzard. And this year they did it because of the pending acquisition from Microsoft. So this year they didn't go live. They just kind of released the earnings. They didn't, when you're going through like an SEC investigation on that kind of stuff, and you want to make sure that you don't want to answer any questions the wrong way. You want that merger to go through properly. So the acquisition, and so they're not doing any talking. All they did was release the numbers. But what do the numbers tell us? Well, they tell us that 2022 was a record quarterly net bookings year. They delivered on their mission, bringing epic joy to players. What a nice little line there from Bobby Kotick. Thank you, Bobby. We're glad that we made you richer this year. Very, very nice. The numbers, you can see everything went up. The highlights. This quarter, Activision Blizzard cited record-breaking financial results, specifically highlighted by the success of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 opening sales, and quarterly net bookings from Blizzard Entertainment, specifically citing growth in Warcraft and the reinvigorated Overwatch and Diablo franchises. In terms of launching things, last year was a big year for Blizzard, right? They have the all the Diablo shit going on. Overwatch 2 came out, World of Warcraft Dragonflight came out, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out. A lot of big releases for them. So you would expect them to just deliver, big numbers from last year. Of course, the cash cow Candy Crush also delivered record performance with mobile net bookings continuing to grow. So there you go. We did. Warcraft is getting good again. Yeah, it is. Dragonflight has been a great expansion. But we'll read a little bit more into that. The company also highlighted growth of their game developers' teams, increasing over 25% throughout 2022, continuing to honor their commitment to increasing representation in the workforce. Yeah, okay. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Yeah, that's great. That's always good stuff to talk about. Activision, 111 million monthly active users, up from 97 million. Holy crap. Talking about a 14 million increase in Q3 alone. Activision continues to celebrate success for Call of Duty, which broke records for the fastest-selling title in the history of the Call of Duty franchise. And for the first time in the series, passes over 1 billion selling through mark. Damn. Oh my god. That's wild. So again, yeah, the Call of Duty franchise did great. That's what all this shit says. But let's talk a little bit about Warcraft specifically. That's all of their games? Yeah. Now, hopefully, they bring us better player housing. Yeah. Well, any player housing would be better player housing, considering it is currently non-existent in the game. But anyways, gaining 14 million... So Blizzard games went from 31 to 45 million in Q3. Gaining 14 million monthly annual users, Blizzard reported its highest quarterly net bookings. Again, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and Diablo. The Blizzard segmented revenue income grew approximately 90% year over year. In the Warcraft franchise, World of Warcraft delivered significant year-over-year growth in reach, engagement, and net bookings in the fourth quarter following the September release of Wrath of the Lich King Classic. That was a big one for them. And the November launch of Dragonflight. While early Dragonflight sales have not reached the level of the prior expansion, community feedback on the title has been positive. And we've talked a little bit about this. We know for a fact that Dragonflight has not reached the pre-sales and sale numbers of Shadowlands. But that's not a compliment to Shadowlands or a knock on Dragonflight. What that actually is that's a knock on Shadowlands. because people were hyped for Shadowlands. They left BFA. Now, say what you want about BFA, it wasn't as bad as Shadowlands. So there were still a lot of people playing, and a lot of people pre-ordered Shadowlands, you know, in the excitement of what it was. Shadowlands was so bad that Dragonflight has had to repair a lot of community damage. So that is why Dragonflight's numbers, you know, have not been to the level of Shadowlands pre-orders and stuff. But, as they said, you know, feedback has been positive on Dragonflight, and I think it's going to build a nice foundation for things to come. Blizzard has announced plans to deliver substantially more content and more than any expansion in the past, and post-launch subscriber retention in the West is higher than recent expansions. That's great. That means the game is in a good place and there is a lot of content to play. After WoD, it took me a while to come back to this game. Yeah, Tidewell. And I think a lot of people, you know, kind of, WoD came and went and people kind of let it go. But the straw that broke the camel's back was really Shadowlands for a lot of people, and it's going to take a lot to bring them back, that's for sure. We do know October, Overwatch 2 came out. It's free to play. That was a big one. Diablo Immortal on the PC contributing to Blizzard's year-over-year growth, and Diablo 4, the next installment of the series, is planned to release for PC and console on June 6th, 2023. And then we all know about the license agreement with NetEase. Yeah, that shit all fell through, so they might see a dip in profit due to this, but we'll see. And then King, of course, the king of all, Candy Crush. 233 million active users, slightly down from the 240 million. I have to say, I think King's going to have a good year, though, because companies like mine are returning to the office, and you know what the office means? It's time to play some mobile games. Yeah, I think that'll be a big one for them. We'll see a lot of stuff. We'll see their numbers go up as return to office continues. Yeah, people will be playing Candy Crush again at their desk instead of working, so that's great. All in all, good numbers from Blizzard, and more specifically, good numbers for World of Warcraft. Yes, not as high as Shadowlands, but more profitable in terms of the fact that they are holding the player base, right? People are staying subbed.